What's up, y'all? Today I wanted to talk about attachment. Now, a lot of us mix attachment with a lot of our things. We say we want something, we say we love something, we say we desire something. Want and desire the same thing, but you get the idea. And what we don't realize is when we say we want something, when some people, I'm not saying love is a bad thing, but some people kind of attach themselves to someone and say that it's love. Now, I'll go over the two things, desire and love, and how to differentiate just detach the attachment from said thing. Now, a lot of us, many of us have goals, many of us have aspirations we want to go for. And with that being said, we have these desires, we have these wants. So we unconsciously create these attachments towards these things. We're saying, let's say for me, let's say a desire I had was to move to New York. Out of all the places, I want to move to New York. And I always told myself, yes, one day I'll move to New York. I want to desire it. But what we're saying to ourselves, to, us, is that we need that thing in order to feel happiness, because we unconsciously attach happiness, we attach joy, we attach all these different emotions to this desire in order for us to feel those emotions. Now, I want you guys to realize that any desire, you have to learn to let go of those emotions attached to it and feel those emotions first. It's a lot less of, I want money in order to feel happy. I want money in order to feel free. I want money in order to feel secure. You can feel secure first, and then money will just be a byproduct of who you are. So there's no attachment, and that's what we like to create. That's what this ego likes to create. And if you're new to this channel, this ego it's this me that we think we are. It likes to take credit for things. It likes to have a dualistic point of view where there's right and wrong, there's up and down, there's yes or all that. There's dualistic views. It likes to try to control, predict, and just stay in our heads. That's the main topic. The ego likes to stay in our heads and make us live a reality that it wants to live in, instead of God's reality, the present moment. And now, I forgot where I was going with this, but this ego likes to create separation as well. Now, when we say we want something, let's say, I want to make $10,000 a month, etc. Since we're saying to ourselves that I want it, we're saying to ourselves, to our subconscious mind, that we do not have it yet. So when we say I want to make $10,000, we're creating separation. This person who's not making $10,000 and this person who is making $10,000 are two different people. But the only difference between these two people is their assumption of themselves, right? This person who makes $10,000 a month, believes he can. He's confident. He's secure without money. He's loving, he's humble, etc. He knows he can make that. But this person who wants it believes that they don't have it yet, believes that they can't have it, believes that they're not abundant, believes that they need it to feel secure. And so if you can take all these feelings at your desired state and let go of that desire, let go of that attachment, and believe you're that person now, then there's nothing separating you from the person who is making $10,000 and the one who isn't making it at this moment. Now you might be questioning, well, then how am I ever going to get that money? I know, God is always within, God is present. All we need is God, but the money will always feel good to have. And don't get me wrong, I'm on the same boat. I always told myself, I know God's within. I know we have the power to create within. I know the Holy Spirit's within. So if God, divinity's within, then what else do we need? But of course, there is that desire we all have. Whether it's more or less traveling on the world, taking care of our parents, taking care of our loved ones, living free, etc. What you have to start believing, what you have to start assuming, is that you are that person now, and you'll start taking action as that person. Okay? Someone who is making $10,000, $20,000 a month off of YouTube, off of community, etc., is out here making videos, is out here outreaching to people, is out here trying to serve in the best and genuine intention, and believing is that person every single day, and if not more. And that's the only difference, the difference between someone who isn't there and who is there, they just believe that they are that person, and results just automatically show, because it's law. If we assume that we are that person by the law of assumption, then that we will become. And so, why is attachment so important? Well, it's because, let's say I am someone who is, saying I am abundant, I make X amount a month, I have X amount in my community, etc. I'll unconsciously look at those things as something I need in order for me to feel secure, right? And again, it creates an attachment. So if I'm, again, able to, I keep saying the same thing, but I want you guys to really understand, and I want to cement this inside you guys, that you need to let go of these feelings attached to your desired state, desired outcome. And you need to be able, in order to feel those feelings now and believe you have them and act like that person, believe you're that person every single day. Because once you're able to change your state of mind, your consciousness, then it will reflect, I promise you. And I'm here to show you guys as well. If you guys don't want to believe it, you guys are like, there's no way. Well, I'm practicing this every single day. I'm getting better and better at letting go of these old programs, letting go of this ego, and continually creating new thoughts that I am this person now, that I don't need this to happen in order for me to feel good. It's just already who I am. It's part of me. And so that's what it is. Instead of saying, okay, well, what if I do feel abundant? What if I do feel free, secure? What if things I want doesn't come to me? Well, understand that God is going to make that happen for a reason. If he doesn't make it happen, then it happened for a reason. He will show you some way to be who you are. Because if you are abundant, then he'll give you what you need to be abundant. And different people's abundance is different, like, for instance, I had a talk with my coach today, and, well, I'm not going to say a friend at this point. And I was telling him, I was like, honestly, next year, 2, 3, I just want to be able to take care of my parents, or, at least provide a lot more than I am now, and just be able to travel. That's it, and of course making money on my community, one-on-one clients, etc. like that. And he was like, well, how much do you need? And I was like, probably like 5,000, just to like 5,000 profit to give to my parents, and then extra 2, 3, 4, 5 for me, so 10K you could say. And I know it might even sound like, whoa, this guy's shooting pretty far, but again, you can shoot as far as you want, as long as you believe that you are that person. And so I'm gonna start acting like that person. I'm gonna start walking around as if I'm that person. And I realized, like, I don't need that much. I don't need millions. I don't need tens, thousands, well, not 10, but 20, 30, 40, 100,000 a month in order for me to feel or be abundant. Like, I already am abundant now, but with that money, I'll be satisfied. I'll be like, all right, well, I'm providing for my family. I'm traveling the world. I have enough to spend for myself, spend for my loved ones, and it's calm. It's life. I'm still able to pursue my passion, which is to show people this truth, to show people that you can become who you want to be with God. There's nothing separate. There's no, oh, I'll grind, I'll push God away, I'll push the Bible away, I'll push his teachings away for 2, 3 years, let me get my money up, let me get my worldly things together, and then I'll focus on it. I promise you, you can do both, because once you work those 2, 3 years, you realize, man, this stuff does not matter. Any of the money, any of the subscribers, followers, etc. It does not matter if it's not with God. And so that's something I was luckily, thank God, I was able to figure out before I acquired all of that. I was able to take a step back and realize I don't need that much in order for me to feel good. I feel good now, don't get me wrong, but 10 grand, 12, 15, I'm living, And of course later on when the time does come, I'm sure I'll just be like, all right, well, a little more. I want to move out now. I think it's time for me to move out. I have a feeling, an intuition from God that it's time to move out. Then more money will just flow in because I am abundant. And you see, it's just the way of life. It's just how life goes. And I want to be able to show you guys, like, yes, it is possible. Yes, someone here may hit me up saying, hey, I want to work with you. And it's very possible. You got to just be open enough to believe. And I believe that I am that coach. I believe I can change lives just by this knowledge that I found out, that I know, that's within. Hopefully I'm not going too much on a rampage or a tangent, but I hope you guys can understand what I'm trying to tell you guys, that, let me make sure I'm recording. There is nothing you need besides God. And the reason why I say that is because if God is within you, God is everything and anything around you. He is the money, he is the goals, he is the vacation, he is the experience, he is the peace, the love, the joy. Then you have it already within. You just have to believe that. You have to reveal that. You have to be able to assume that you are that person. You gotta assume that you are part of God. And everything you want will literally be a byproduct of who you are. If you believe you're abundant, then all your goals, desires, and money-wise will come to you. If you believe you're loving, if you are loved, then anybody, but the right person will come to you at the right time. And it's also another thing I like to mention. I used to be attached to the timing. Okay, well, I'm gonna assume this for 3-4 months, and then if it doesn't happen by then what next? Or I'd make a time stamp. I'd be like, by the end of summer, I'll be making this, I'll be doing that. And I'm not saying I'm not totally against making, intentions, but I don't like creating deadlines. I don't like creating dates. I don't like having a timeline, because at the end of the day, it's not under my time. It's under God's timing. It's under divine timing. And so if I'm able to just let go of that attachment, then there isn't any stress that's going to be caused in my mind. There isn't going to be, how long is it going to take? How long is it going to take? I just know that it's going to happen in God's timing, because his timing is perfect. So there's nothing to worry about. Okay? Now another thing I want to mention. Attachment creates these problems, these mental stresses, these mental scenarios, overwhelmings, overthinkings. And that's where the ego loves to live. The ego loves for you to overthink. The ego loves for you to daydream and think about what might happen, what could happen, etc. And the more and more we're able to quiet our mind, the more and more we're able to let go of these attachments and just know that God's in control. Whatever we're trying to control, whatever we're trying to predict, whatever we're trying to stay comfortable, stay away from, is where God is. God already is taking care of what's uncontrollable, what's the uncontrollable, what we can't control. There we go. And there's nothing to predict, because again, it's under God's will. He has everything written down, And then just trying to stay surviving and stay comfortable. God is most open to us when we step into the unknown, when we challenge ourselves, when we go out there and do things that make us feel uncomfortable. Because in those times, the ego's gonna freak the heck out, because it's like, I'm not used to this. I'm not used to recording in public. I'm not used to talking to people, going up to them and giving them compliments. I'm not used to speaking as if I'm this person who's making $10,000, $20,000 a month, office community, office clients, even though it's not true in this reality, in this present moment right now, And the ego's gonna fight. The ego's gonna continue saying, no, that's impossible. No, there's no way you can act like that person, because you don't have those things. That's when you gotta go blind. That's when you gotta close those 5 senses: ears, smell, eyes, especially. Anyway. Just you gotta go blind. You can't pay attention to what's outside. If I look at my, let's just say, bank account, right, and I'm like, man, where's my 20 grand? Where's my 15? Where's my 10 grand that I can help spend for my family? Then that's gonna be me, again, creating that attachment to it, saying, well, I don't feel secure yet. I don't feel like I'm that person, because I need evidence outside of me. And the only evidence you need is within. You are that person. Assume it. What was I getting at? The ego it likes to have that inner dialogue of like, if you don't since there's nothing external from you that you can't see, that there's proof that you are changing, that you are that person, then it's going to make you say and believe that, no, there's no way that you are that coach, you are that person that's making $10K a month, etc. But yeah, it's your job to go blind. It's your job to just let go of those doubts, those old programs, those negative beliefs, those old stories, and learn to begin to believe that those stories are always fake. Any doubt, any worry, any fear, any negative assumption or overthinking, anything that's inside of your head that's negative, that's not getting you where you want to get to, is not from God. It's from the ego. It's from the devil, you can even say. And it's a lot easier for you to differentiate, because if it doesn't bring you peace within, then, why do it? But again, I guess that kind of goes against the uncomfortability, but on the other side of the uncomfortable things you don't want to do, there is peace, there is that joy, there is that happiness. So, don't fall for the hezzy, you could say. But yeah, that's something I'm working on right now as well. I'm not trying to pay attention to my subscribers. I'm not trying to pay attention to my views, the likes, the comments, etc. on anything. My bank account, nothing. I just know it's within. So I'm going to continue taking action like that. I'm going to continue showing up as that person, believing I'm this person while I'm driving about, walking about, doing what I got to do. And I promise you guys, eventually it will show in God's timing. But it's already done. If that confused you, my bad. But yeah, God bless. I'm going to let y'all go. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. Now, I briefly want to go over the love section about the about attachment because, well, I kind of forgot to go over it, and I really wanted to touch upon it because I think it's something that, one, I learned a lot over these last couple years, months, etc. Now, for me, I'm sure a lot of people as well, when I had a girl, I attached myself to that person a lot. Like I really would. I would attach a lot of happiness, security, etc. towards them, right? And so I relied on them a little too much, a lot. So this attachment towards this love wasn't really love. This love was laced with, honestly, it was laced with insecurity, untrustworthiness, dependency, etc. And one thing that made it like change was, and I'm not saying it was their fault. I'm saying this is from within. The love that I was, showing, that I believed that was there, wasn't really true love because I didn't love myself as much as I thought I did, and so all that laced emotions, whether it was insecurity, untrustworthiness, dependency, etc., it was just a reflection of how I felt inside, and so that love wasn't really love. I was attaching myself to this person, expecting to feel that love again and again, but I just kept going into a loop and a cycle. It was when I was able to, filter out those negative emotions, the insecurities, the untrustworthiness, the dependency, etc. The guilt as well. I had a lot of guilt, and only then I was actually able to show true love to myself. And that's what I believe love is all about. Being able to let go of the attachment, let go of all those negative emotions inside of love, and just truly feeling love, selflessly, there's no selfish gain, then that's love. There's no attachment. There is no trying to get something from that person. There is no, I need that portion in order to feel love. Love's already found within. God's found within. So there's nothing you need from that person in order for you to feel any better than you already do. And that's how I believe love should be portrayed. That's how I believe love should be done. Whenever I get my next girl or wife, whatever, I know it'll be a lot richer than it was before because, well, I love myself a lot more than I did before. I trust myself a lot more than I did before. I'm much more secure. I'm much more happy, you could say, than I was before. And so if you're in that same situation where you're stuck up on someone else beforehand, understand that, look back, did you truly love yourself? Or was it laced with, the insecurities, the untrustworthiness, etc., that was just reflecting from the inside to you, And if so, it's all right. You'll find someone else, you could say. I don't mean to make this a relationship thing, but I know a lot of people struggle with this. I used to struggle with this a lot, so I thought I'd just throw this in there. But don't get me wrong, it's still a beautiful experience with and without the right love, you could say, or the higher truth love, you could say. But yeah, hope you guys understand. Hope you guys understood that. Back to the video because I totally forgot to talk about it. And I just killed a bug. Almost. And yeah, God bless. Catch you guys in the next one.